Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Hey, coming to you from my property. Somebody asked me the other day how things were going, if we had made any progress with our manufactured home. And so I just wanted to get on here. I realized I hadn't given any updates for a while. And somebody else was asking me how we ended up out here. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit along with that about like making decisions about placements and property and where we live and the different factors that go into that for me. So anyways, I'm going to flip this around. Okay, so this may not look like I'm showing you much here, but what you see right there is a brand new roof. Woot woot. There's a brand new roof on top of this thing, which is super awesome, being as the entire inside was leaking and problematic. And so a new roof is really important when you start fixing everything inside. But if the roof is still rotten and not doing well, then it doesn't do you much good that you fixed everything inside, because then, you know, it floods. And anyways, I'm sure I could give you some biblical thing about that, because that feels really relevant to life. But I'm going to spare you that right now, because I got some other things we want to do. Anyways, so I'm going to flip this around and show you inside the house. So look in here. So you come in. Don't ask about the refrigerator. This is an ongoing discussion between my husband and I about this refrigerator. So here we are. We've got this puppy gutted. And so we've got a new roof. Woo woo, which means we can insulate. Everything else is gutted. It's pretty much where we're at in this process. You can see we're still working on getting the ceiling out, and this is what we'll... Okay, looks like we're back. So here we are. This is what will be our home. Okay, so you look at this and you might be thinking, oh my word. I mean, this is just a lot to take in. Here's the great part. It's a funny thing. We have some contractors that we've done a lot of work with over the years. They've done a lot of work for us in various homes and areas. And we'll bring them in and be like, hey, you know, we need an estimate on a roof. Or, yeah, which, by the way, shout out to Jimmy Wright Roofing. They really always do right by us. Show up, do what they say they're going to do, give us quality product. But they got the roof on, and then we had another buddy of ours come and look at our windows and our doors and give us an estimate there. And when he walks in, he's just like this. He's like, huh. And I said, is it shocking? And he said, it's really shocking. So, and I said, but the great thing is I really have vision. I can see it. And he said, I have no doubt. I'm sure you do. And I said, it will be fantastic. You will see. So, anyways, as I was looking at today, was like a big day. There's a roof now. And as you can see, we're going to have great view once it's there. But, I got to thinking about, like, so many people are like, how on earth did you end up on this property? And I just wanted to talk about something, because you may look at that and you go, like I said, I show you this and you go, oh my gosh, all I see is a catastrophe and inside. But there's something about being able to see beyond what's currently before you that absolutely helps you make different decisions. And I wonder how many things in life we miss because we can't see beyond the current condition of something, of a situation, of a circumstance, of a person, of any of those things. And we just can't see beyond the current situation. So I just wonder how many things we miss out on that with a little effort and sweat equity and input could be made into something glorious, but because there's just not vision. So I've been praying a lot lately for people to just have revised vision. Revitalization of vision, because in the word it says without vision the people perish. And I feel like there's just so many things that we just leave unfulfilled in us because we can't step into vision to see beyond. So you may see, when you look at this, a torn down, broken down catastrophe that should be bulldozed. And honestly, it probably should have been. Luckily, we just thought, my word, the cost of, building it or replacing it is going to be about 4 times what we could just fix it up for and do it as we go and not go into further debt. But it was more than that. Like, I could see, once I walked in, I was like, I can totally see this as such a cute little place. Like, I can see this as a dwelling place. I can see something to it. And so, I just encourage you to try to look beyond just what's right before you when an opportunity is presented. Look at what it could be. And, a wise man counts the cost before he starts the journey. We knew what we were getting into when we got on this property, when we got on this land. We knew that it was going to be a huge undertaking. We didn't have any fantasy perspectives about it. We knew, but we could also see that it was worth it. Like, we were like, this is going to be so worth it. And we were praising the Lord, because had this property not been in the condition it was in, it would not have been apprehendable by us. Like, we could not have gotten it. It would have been beyond our means. So by the grace of God, we got it in its current condition, and we get the gift of blessing of taking it to where it's going to go and where I can see it. But I want to add to that, because I was talking with somebody the other day about this, and they were asking me, like, when you guys move, or when you've gone to Virginia, or when you've been in Uganda, or when you've lived downtown, how did you buy a house, and what were the things that mattered to you? And I wanted to talk to you about that, because I get asked those kind of things a lot. So one of the things that I've learned is that I believe that we get positioned places, not just to bless us, but to be a blessing to the place we get positioned. And that we have giftings and callings and skills and abilities inside of us that get to add to neighborhoods, work environments, families, when we marry and we join families. And they have those things also that add to us. Like, everything is multifaceted. It's not, oh, where do you want me, Lord, so that I can be blessed? It's like, where do you want me so that I can be a blessing? And in doing so, I'm blessed, So I think that there's such an important piece to being positioned somewhere that you can pray into and add life to and bring redemption to neighborhoods, to cities, to areas, to regions, to families, to friendships, to anything like that. I think it's a great thing when we step into it with that perspective. So I fully believe that, like, by our prayer and our intercession, we impact not just the land we live in, but the land around us, the people around us. I think there's a function between the flow of the earth and people, and our prayers and our actions. They affect us and future generations, but they affect the land we live in. And I don't know if that's making any sense, but to me, it's super important that I'm positioned somewhere, that my family's positioned somewhere, that we're adding to the neighborhood. Right? So yes, I always like to think, man, these are the things I would love to have. I'd love to have somewhere that my children have space, that maybe we could grow some food, or, like those, whatever matters to you in a home. But in addition to that, I think, I want to be somewhere, Lord, that I can pray into it, that whatever's happened around that neighborhood or around that city, I can speak his heart, God's heart, into the situation, into the neighborhood. I can pray for my neighbors, and I can make a difference there. And when you own land, you just have a different kind of authority somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I own this land, and, my family, we own this land. So we have a different say about what happens here than somebody who might just visit the land or come by. So when you're seeking out the steps in your life, like your job, friendships, where you live, I just really want to encourage you to think beyond, like, just what your needs are in the midst of it. And those aren't irrelevant. I'm not saying that, but they're just a small part of it. And sometimes stepping into things that we get to affect and impact is fulfilling to us, like all the time, not sometimes. Like, there's nothing that goes through you that doesn't go to you. We're conduits, and a conduit carries something to the environment around it, but is impacted by it. I have a good friend who I would say to her, gosh, I'm sorry, I feel like I call you for prayer, or like whenever we get together, we end up talking about me. And she goes, it's a 2-for-1 special. Like, whatever I pour into you, she goes, it fills me to do so. And it's like that in our work environments. It's like that in our neighborhoods. Like, we bring, in our churches, like wherever we go, we bring our faith or our lack thereof. We bring our hope or our despair. Like, whatever is in us is get brought to that area. And so when we go into a place that is, we carry, maybe like, I'm just naturally an optimistic person. It's just my personality. So maybe there needs to be some optimism brought to this neighborhood. But in addition to that, I tend to be really squirrely and go, go, go. And maybe in this area and being on this property is going to bring a little stability to my squirreliness. But I'm also going to bring some optimism to this neighborhood and to this area, if that makes sense. So anyways, I just wanted to give you guys an update on our place and kind of what we're doing out here. But also because I do get asked often how I make those kinds of decisions. And that's the thing. I'm always seeking the Lord. Like, Father, lead us to a place that we can alter the atmosphere, that we can affect, that I can make a difference there, but also while it impacts me, and fulfills all those mutual things. So that's it. And look at that view. I love it. I can see it. Can't wait to show you when we get more going on. Now that the roof's on, we feel like we can make a little bit more progress. So in the next week or so, we got all new plumbing coming in. We've got all new electrical being redone. We've got some new insulation coming in, and then drywall, paint, flooring, cabinets, boom, furniture. We're there. Jason said he thinks it'll be the best birthday present ever for me, because we'll get to move into this house by my birthday, which is the end of November. So super excited. Bless you guys. Talk to you later.